Welcome back, gang. This is going to be the longer video, or actually I'm going to do this piece, and we'll see how it goes. I won't be terribly entertaining, so if you want to watch it, be my guest. If it's too tedious and you sort of understood what I was talking about in the previous video, skip this one. Except, I just want to remind you that this piece is also got to be protected with liquid mask. If you want the, oh, actually it doesn't. I apologize. You don't protect this with liquid mask because the outer surface is already protected with the film all around. So if you paint it from the back, this is going to give you the chrome interior of the lights. So that's what this piece is for. It goes in like so, and so this gets painted all chrome silver or bright silver. I have 3 different silvers over here: silver, bright silver, and this tester's enamel that is chrome, which I told you in the previous video I'm going to try and see how that works. I haven't gotten to that yet, obviously. So this just gets painted silver, no other masking, and then you can peel off the and the easiest way to peel this stuff off is to take a piece of Scotch tape, break a little piece off, stick it down really good, and pull it away from the edge. Pull the Scotch tape away, leave a little lip for yourself to grab onto, and then pull it away, and that'll start the peeling process, and then this stuff just comes right off. I'll show you with this one because I'm going to peel this one right now. So, little piece of Scotch tape, put it on, rub, and it didn't work. So we'll get an area that it'll work. There it goes. And off it comes. No turning back now. I will let you know that I have another body kit, a full body kit that I bought as a spare in case I totally screwed this one up. But hopefully I won't ever need it. So now I'm going to begin the process of taping all this together. And I like to use, once again, I like to use 2 colors so I know which side's what. So for the area I'm masking on the outer surface, I'm going to use this green tape. And I'm leaving the tape a little fatter than it needs to be to cover up any slopperoo. The other reason why I don't want to paint all this, besides it darkening, perhaps darkening the white of the model wherever it's attached, because you know it's going to attach underneath, and you're going to see these big lips, I think. So I don't want that. I'll leave it clear so it doesn't affect the tone of the paint and make it darker than it should be in those areas. So am I on camera? Yeah, I can zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in a tiny bit. Maybe there. And away I go. Just tape this stuff off. This is the easy part of this mask. It will get more annoying pretty shortly. And I'm making this better than it needs to be. I can tell you that, because this is all internal stuff. Once again, I'm just going wide of where the black fixture ends, just so I know I've had enough paint to cover up any errors. And I'm just gonna trim the excess tape a little bit along the contours of the body. It's sloppy, but it's there. It's doing what I want it to do. Straighten that edge. Run this contour across the front of the fixture, leaving some extra once again. And if this were to bleed, it's not the end of the world, because they would have you paint this whole area black. I think their objective is that you're going to paint the whole underside of the car black, which a lot of people do. I am not going to do that because it's a white car. I want the white to be nice and bright, and I don't want that the possibility of that changing darkening the shade of white. So I really just wanted to paint today, but this is what happens when you have my brain. I'm always complicating things, which is, for me, the fun part. I'm not a master model builder by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I wing it all the time when I do these. And I have, this is the second model I have built in, 20-something years easily. I mean, the last radio control car I built was a Michael Schumacher Ferrari F2000. It was also a Tamiya car. I cut the body out and I never painted it. It's clear, and I don't think I'm ever going to paint it. I kind of like it looking at the guts of the car, because at the time the guts of that car were pretty high tech. It's all-wheel drive. It's the only car I have with liquid shock absorbers and all that stuff. It's really cool looking. So I left it clear as a display piece. And so I didn't even tackle the body on that. The last body I painted was a Ferrari F190 Tamiya radio control car, which was driven by Alan Prost and I think Nigel Mansell back in the day. And that was by these standards, a very, very simple paint job. It's just red with a couple of little areas where you masked some black for the air ducts, and that was it. This car and the LaFerrari I did previously were much more challenging. The LaFerrari was super challenging because I did so much. And we got a lot to do on this car too, because I have to build an interior, just like I did on the LaFerrari. And this is the very same piece that I made the LaFerrari's interior from, which isn't, accurate to a LaFerrari, but at least it puts an interior in the car. And you can see a driver and the helmet and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. As for this car, I'm not sure who I'm making the driver of it. I see number 3 is Vern Chupin and Al Holbert that they have here. I'm looking for an interesting helmet design. This car was also driven by Jackie Ickx, Derek Bell, and the late Stefan Beloff, who was actually killed racing against Jackie Ickx at Spa in 1983, I think. He was going to pass him in Eau Rouge. They touched, and poor Stefan, very young, promising sports car and Formula One driver for Tyrrell, was killed instantly. He went off the track, straight on into some barriers at Eau Rouge, which they have since removed. Of course, they always do this stuff, fix the track after people get killed, and he was killed. And And so, believe it or not, the person with the most interesting helmet paint job that would be very challenging to replicate would be Stefan Beloff's. He is L Hol or Derek Bell's was a white helmet with just a little stripe on it going around the base, around the neck area. A couple, I think it's a couple of colors, but that's all. And it has a British Union Jack at the front of the helmet on top. I found those on eBay in various scales, so I bought them in case I do go with the Derek Bell car. Hopefully I'll just stick that on, and I'll paint his face and stuff, so you will see a driver face. I always like to do driver faces wherever possible. And Jackie Ickx's helmet was blue, and not much else, not much going on with that either. I think there's a stripe on that too, but nothing fancy, nothing terribly interesting in the helmet design. Beloff's is black with, I think, red and yellow, and it's striped, and it sort of zigzags or on it. It's really much more interesting, the most interesting of those three. I haven't looked up Al Holbert or Vern Chupin. Al Holbert was also killed, sadly, but not in a race car. He was killed in a plane crash. I think he was leaving his son's either graduation or a football game or something that his son was in, and he was flying to, I think, mid-Ohio to do an IMSA race. And Al Holbert was one hell of a race driver too. He won in sports cars tons and tons of times. And he was killed in a small plane crash on his way to a race from seeing his son. Or it could have been vice versa. I'm literally running off of memory, 40-year-old memory. I did not look this stuff up. You can if you're interested in the history. Vern Chupin did not get killed in a race car or in any other. I'm not sure if Vern Chupin's still alive. I think he is. I don't remember hearing that he had passed away, but he's, of course, older now, too. He's probably in his, if he is alive, he's probably in his mid to late 70s, could be in his early 80s. Derek Bell's like 82 or 83. He's still alive. His son is Justin Bell, who's a decent driver in his own right. All right, so that's done. Now I'm going to do the blue on the inside interior, to look like that blue. There you go. And I guess I can zoom in even a little tighter. Let's see. Yeah. Come on, camera. You can do it. All right. So this is just plain old painter's tape. It's a little, maybe a little stickier than the masking tapes that I use, and certainly it's a thicker gauge of paper. So, but it's what I have. I've got hobby supplies, and I also got not so good hobby supplies so I use what's handy. And I got lots of junk that's handy. I went to my garage and found some painter's tape. I do a lot of painting around my house. Touch up here, touch up there. I don't really change the colors, but I try and keep the paint job looking fresh. But it's been 5 years since I painted anything in the house. I did a lot of that stuff during COVID. Got a lot of the honey-do list stuff done during COVID. It was a very, very productive time to be home for that length of time. And I was home a long time, like 6 months out of work. But I was fortunate that our company supported us with pay. They're not doing that this time. I'm not getting paid at the moment. I am, well, actually I am, because I'm using all my vacation time. Fortunately, I have some to use still, but if the shutdown continues for more than like 3 more weeks, I will be not getting paid. But a lot of people are way worse off than I am, so I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to make the most use of this time. Since once I do get back to work, I generally have no time. I have a fairly long commute to my office. I have to be on site at my job, so there's no working from home ever. And so I spend a lot of time in a car, and I spend a lot of time at the office. So it is what it is. But I like what I do, so once again, not complaining. I love the people I work with, great people. We do some interesting projects. So you can't beat that at my age. You know, I'm at a stage in life where I choose to work more than I have to work. I think I can already tell now that I'm older than I was during the COVID, that was 5 years ago, that I could get into this kind of sleepy retirement routine very easily. And I don't know if that's good, because I want to stay active as long as possible. I'm fortunate that I have hobbies and a lot of different things that interest me. Some people retire not knowing what to do with themselves, but I don't know how long this would last, you know? It might last a long time, and it might not, you know? It might be the kind of thing where it's good for 6 months. I get tired of building models. I get tired of, you know, maybe I'd start painting again as a fine artist. I used to do that. That's what I was trained to do. I was a medical illustrator and studied that for 7 years. And haven't done that in, God, since the 1980s. So, long time. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I retire? Life is short, and I know the grave is forever, but I don't know. Like I said, you know, I feel like I got to do something. And since I'm a video producer, you'd never know it by these videos, but I am. Since I am one, would I do that when I'm retired? And why would I do it? You know, I mean, I've been working for customers since I started in this business. So, you know, somebody else has a need for a video product, I'll make it for them. You know, I could increase the production value of videos like this, but these videos aren't about the videos to me. They're about the hobby that we're working on. And, you know, sharing that with people who are interested. They'll watch this for because they're doing something similar, and maybe they'll pick up some tips, and maybe they won't. Maybe they'll think I'm a terrible model builder, which is okay, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a master. But what do you do? I guess you just have to, like everything in life, you just have to make a commitment to do it, even if it's retirement, and go from there and figure it out. But, and who knows, I might be forced into retirement, you know? Being a government contractor, you never know when that's gonna, I mean, you have a contract that lasts X number of years, and it's renewed every year. Even if you have a multi-year contract, you have to go through the process of recompeting for it every X number of years. Could be 3, could be 5. And in between, they have option years where they can still tell you they don't need your services anymore. And they can say that at any time, actually. I mean, you think you have a contract, but it's very loosey-goosey. It's really a contract that benefits the government, not necessarily you. So they can tell you at any time they're done with you. And you have made that agreement in your contract. So they always have a get out of jail free clause that you don't have. You are committed. So you don't do that sort of thing. All right. I think, does that match up pretty well? I went a little lower on this one. Okay. So I'll go a little lower on this one. I might as well be consistent. On the inside interior of the blue, get rid of that. Get rid of this. And all right. One thing about the painter's tape, it's better than that green tape that I used. As far as it doesn't pull away. You don't have to like go in and re-burnish it all the time like you do with the green tape. So that's that, okay? Peach Keen. This side's already been masked with liquid mask, all 3 pieces. So the next step, which I really did not enjoy doing, but we're gonna do it again 2 more times, is putting that green mask to get that bevel, or that bezel. And see how that works out. Well, maybe we will get the paint today. Who knows? Maybe we will. So, for that, I have my thinnest tape. Don't ask me what millimeter it is, because I can't tell you. This tape is old. I don't even know how many years I've had it. I'm surprised it's still sticky. This might be 20 years old, or plus. It might go back to my Ferrari F190 build. I don't recall when I bought these, but it's old. I'm sure you can find stuff like this online, on eBay. At least I can't imagine you can't. And maybe you can find stuff that's better. Like I said, I think in earlier videos, they do make masking tapes like this in vinyl. which are a little thicker gauge. I'm just trying to find the tape edge here, which I thought I did, but I didn't. Ooh boy. Yep. And my eyes are good. I cannot see that line. Ah, there it is. So the problem with peeling this is it's curling in exactly the opposite direction I needed to curl in. I really needed to curl with the sticky side curling inward, not the paper, the unsticky side curling inward. It would make it so much easier to wrap it around the light. But no, I have to do it the hard way. So I'm going to just cut a length of this. You can see I'm cutting more than I need. This is kind of like, I don't know, dental flossing your light fixture. So the other thing I did with this, I'm going to put that sideways. I've got to sort of anchor the light fixture down so it stays still while I'm trying to do this. So I've taped it to the floor here, my hobby workbench. And I'm going to get a toothpick and see. It's maddening. And it's been maddening to do this. But I asked for it. Nobody told me to do this. Certainly Tamiya, they didn't ask me to do this. Let me get my light a little differently. Let's see if that helps. Let's see if I can get, I'm trying to get the bottom because that's the hardest area to wrap. If I can get that, then at least we got a starting point. Right? At least that's what I'm leading you to believe. Starting point, good. You know, they could have given us a little light bezel. I mean, it wouldn't have killed them. I want detail. That's kind of, you know, I mean, when you build plastic model kits, like Tamiya 1/10 scale, 1/12 scale, Formula One cars and stuff, they give you some nice detail as far as their parts are concerned. I'm sorry, you probably can't see what I'm doing well on camera, but I can't help it. I'm just using my toothpick and my fingers and all my digits to try to get this thing around the edge of this bezel. And I'm getting there. Or I'm not. One or the other. You know, now if I were post-producing this at all, I could do a time lapse, play some music, which I don't own any. Well, actually I do. I own a lot of stock music. I could do all that. It's old, but it's music, and I have the licenses for it. But Is that what you really want? Maybe. Maybe. Man, oh man. I think I'm getting it. Kind of looks like I'm getting it. Yeah. It's getting there. I have made 360-degree contact with the tape, which makes me happy. So I think I'm going to cut it for this piece and hide the edge someplace inconspicuous, like so. All right, there is, where is it? Where's my camera? One. Put the light on it. Can you see that? No. Let me get this in focus for you. Come on. Focus. There you go. It looks a little lumpy bumpy, but it'll be all right. That's, you know, it's paper tape. It's going to have some lumps and bumps. So, I will go around it one more time, squish it down a little bit, but I'm generally okay with this. I think it's fine. You know, especially when you get this all in the car with all the other pieces, I think some of the imperfections might be hidden, I'm hoping, and we'll see. I could be wrong. We'll see. That's the whole process of that we'll find out when we do the paint job. All right. So, one more. One more. Cut a piece. Hey. Doink. Get a toothpick. Give it a good press. Oh, what? I just got some debris that I didn't want on that paper, on that mask. All right. Here we go. I think I need another toothpick. Maybe 2 toothpicks is the secret to success. Let's see. Might be. But maybe I got lucky with one. Ooh. Doggies. Well, this outer one, even on the other light fixture, this outer light bezel was easier than the inner light bezel. And it looks like it's proving to be a similar situation with this one. It does seem to be. that I am circumferencing this much quicker. I know. I'm not saying much. But it's coming. Coming along. Excess, cut. Toothpick, burnish. Little finger action. All right. Numero dos. Okay. So, what's next? Peeling the little Q guys off, which I didn't even think I was going to use. I just peeled them to follow the instructions from Tamiya. And I think the founder just passed away, actually, which is sad, because he made a great company. All right. Peachy Keen. So, once again, I'm going to go in with some liquid mask and okay, I'm going to go in and paint over all this to seal up the edges, because I know that's definitely not perfect. Yep. So this is fast mask. It's called. You just kind of glop it in there. And let it dry. And it peels off nice and easy. So that's the good thing. So this is pretty, I thought about trying to just liquid mask this, but the underside of the bezel would be very difficult to get a brush in there. Much more so than I think using the tape. But this is what I lose sleep over. I don't know if you guys lose sleep over stuff like this. I'll tell you, I could not sleep last night trying to think about this. And I didn't start working on masking until like 9 o'clock last night. I didn't do anything on this car on Saturday until Sunday night. But I'm hoping to get this body done. I don't know if that's realistic or not. Depends on how long I'm out of work. But I'd like to get it done ASAP. Because I can build the car anytime. And you all can probably build the car anytime. There's not a whole heck of a lot of tricks until you're really into this game as to what to do to hop up the car and all that. I just build the car according to the instruction manual. It's literal. It's a literal interpretation. I do nothing beyond that, except putting the light kit in. That took some trial and error with the LaFerrari to get it working. In fact, the first set of lights I actually used two different sets, because the first kit I bought shorted out and failed. And it's too bad, because it looked really nice, and then pretty much went kablamo. And by coincidence, I was cleaning out an area. I happened to find that a brand new version of that very same light kit that blew up in the LaFerrari. It too is a Tamiya light kit, and I read that it had all kinds of problems, and they kind of upgraded it. So there we go. So I gooped those all up nicey nice. And now I think I've got enough masking done to, once these dry, that one's dry. This will have to dry, probably take an hour or so for that to dry. I can go ahead and paint this afternoon and create yet another video. So there they are, gooped, dried. You can see that came up a little bit on the edge there. Gonna fix that maybe. The phone catches things that my eye does not all the time. So let me do that. I'll do a little touch-up work. You've seen enough. This was 42 minutes, and I think I'll go to 30 seconds because I like to end things like that, being a video person. Have a nice. See you soon.